HPPU, will the HP fiasco stink up future tech deals? Let's talk to Reuters correspondent Nadia Damouni. Nadia, you have a story out today where you really get through the weeds on this. 15 different financial and legal firms involved with the deal, making the financial firms alone almost $70 million. A lot of finger pointing here. Controversial banker Frank Quattrone involved. What do you think in terms of tech deals going forward? What went wrong here, finger pointing, and how do you see this potentially having a chilling effect on other big tech deals as the space relies so much on acquisitions?
Absolutely. You're right. We basically reported that there are 15 legal, financial, and accountants that were involved in this transaction. And clearly it shows that bigger is not better. This deal was over, what, $11 billion?
Right.
And you had banks, although you had Quattrone, Frank Quattrone's firm, advising Autonomy, and you had Perella, Weinberg, and Barclays advising Hewlett-Packard. The rest of the banks, we had about I'd say six odd banks that were advising on the autonomy side.
Yeah, we can see them up there now. Look at all those banks,
Well,
or consulting, auditors.
You won't believe this, but a majority of these were actually engaged a day, if not on the day of the deal announcement.
Wow.
And this is often a practice that's sort of, if you've got a relationship with a client, they'll say, you know what, we'll add you to the term sheet, and they get a nominal fee. So that happens a lot in the banking world. So yes, we could say there's tons of advisors, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to Catalyst Partners and Perella and Barclays on this account.
We're looking right now at the brokerages that have cut their price targets on HB, although the stock has rebounded a little bit as they're up 2% today. But interesting, I mean, Leo Apotheker, who was the CEO, he hadn't been there long, and then the board, there was Mark Andreessen, who was a VC guy, who was evidently pushing very hard for this deal.
That's right. So, of course, Leo wanted to make his mark, an $11 billion software transaction transforming Hewlett-Packard's technology, its strategy.
Right.
It's interesting because, obviously, Leo was pretty much ousted shortly after that deal.
Yeah.
And it just shows that, you know, smaller technology deals have fared much better in the whole domain. You've seen Oracle, SAP, all these guys doing deals between the $1 to $5 billion range.
Yeah.
Fast-growing technologies are the way to go. Autonomy definitely wasn't that fast-growing. It was a big deal for really no good reason.
All right, interesting takeaway there. Nadia, stay put. We're going to come back to you for another story at the close of the show. But for now, I'm going to walk to the hot spot and meet up with Reuters correspondent Ryan Vlastelica to look at some stocks that are moving today, starting with Deere & Company. John Deere, world's largest farm equipment maker, missed on quarterly profit. They're down 4% today.
Absolutely. Very basic story here. Weak demand for some of their products. We have a whole lot of uncertainty going on with the global macroeconomic environment. Of course, Hurricane Sandy, another issue going out there that's sort of impacting people being able to go out and buy stuff. There's an impact of the dollar overseas, which sort of just lessen the impact of sales and so forth.
Strong dollar hurts them in sales overseas.
Absolutely.
Even though North American sales were fairly good.
Absolutely. So really all this stuff is going on right now. The stock is down solidly about 4% last time I checked. So not good news there. However, they did give an outlook that was fairly decent. They are seeing growth throughout the rest of the year in terms of earnings and sales. So this could just be sort of a blip on an otherwise stronger uptrend. But for the moment, investors there do not have a lot to be thankful for.
Okay, let's talk about Scholastic, publisher of the Hunger Games. I don't know if you're a fan. I read the first two. I haven't read the last one yet. They have the Hunger Games, huge success. Before that, they had Harry Potter. So it's a bit odd to hear that they actually cut their outlook for fiscal year 2013. The stock's down 18% today.
Absolutely. Well, the thing about Scholastic is, while it does have these big name titles like Harry Potter and the Hunger Games, really the highest margin division that they have is actually textbooks. You sell them in bulk. They have almost 100,000 public schools across the country. They all need textbooks, so this is where they make a lot of their money.
Right.
And schools right now are just not funneling this kind of money to buying new textbooks. They are instead using that money to train administrators and other people working in the schools. And there's also the fiscal cliff issue. Now, if we go over the cliff, of course, we're going to see a lot of cuts in spending. That goes to education as well.
Right.
So schools do not know how to budget. Are they going to be buying new equipment, facilities, salaries, or are they going to be buying new textbooks? In the wake of that uncertainty, they're delaying purchases, and that's just really weighing on Scholastic right now. Like you said, stock is just down a tremendous amount.
Well, and on the entertainment side, side, talking about the Hunger Games, The Storm also, book clubs, and they were saying it actually did hurt sales of those popular franchise books. But maybe when the second movie comes out, that's bound to bump them, or they need another young adult hit. All right, let's go to the Market Monitor and look at the broader markets today. Basically, green hours, but basically flat today, yeah?
Absolutely. There's really not too much going on. People are paying a lot of attention to Europe right now, waiting to see if there's going to be any kind of agreement with respect to Greece, getting a deal that would give them a little bit more bailout money for them to survive a little bit longer. there was talks that didn't really come up with anything, which was discouraging, and we were down earlier in the day, but then other people came out and said, oh, we're like this close to coming up with a deal, which is encouraging, and that's providing a little bit of support, but really the thing you need to, or probably the thing that's really overarching the entire market today is that it's the day before Thanksgiving. A lot of traders are out. Volume is incredibly light.
Yeah.
People aren't making big bets right now just in the wake of all this stuff. If there was news, we'd probably move on it. But right now, we're just playing a wait-and-see game, and that does not translate to much drama one way or the other.
All right, we'll take it. Ryan Waselica, thanks so much. I'm going to
you.
return now to Nadia Damouni back here, and we're going to talk mergers again because News Corp and Fox Sports getting that 49% stake in the Yes Network, and it seems like when these sports properties come up, they're going to be gobbled up. Good deal for News Corp?
I would think so. I think Fox Sports did great on this. They needed to play catch up. They already own, I believe, 19 regional networks as it is. So this just boosts their portfolio. But you're seeing right now a ton of these transactions in the sports and media industries. And of course, we're covering Denver billionaire Phil Anschutz's sale of his AEG empire, which is entertainment, sports.
LA Galaxy. The
The
Lakers are part of their
part
family.
of the Lakers, the Kings. So, you know, there's a lot of sports involved in that as well. And it'll probably get about $10 billion, and that's the price they're looking for. And we saw the Dodgers get sold to the Guggenheim Consortium. So I mean, the big bucks that are being paid right now are around $3 billion, which is what News Corp's Fox Sports.
So Yes carries the Yankees, New York Yankees. Now I'm a Mets fan, so I have nothing invested in this at all. But obviously a big team, and they can get high fees from the cable operators for big franchises like this that get great ratings.
That's right.
It seems like everybody's still trying to go after ESPN. I mean, CNN and Sports Illustrated tried; they couldn't do it.
It's great company.
Great. I mean, they're really one of the most successful components, of Disney, ESPN.
Right. Well, this is a time. I think if there's anybody who's bidding up on the prices, it's those guys. It's the Comcast, News Corps, Time Warners. So at some point, you probably will see a transaction. I don't know anything that's going on right now, but I know our colleagues have reported on a few others. I think the New England, I believe Sport Network, there's possibly the Red Sox franchise. There are things up for grabs right now, so we'll see what else develops. But this is a market where you can see a lot more sports deals.
So local sports are a big deal, getting big bucks.
Absolutely.
All right, News Corp, as we know, they're going to be listed as two separate companies come June. Now, what's interesting is there's also some into the story out today that they're possibly interested in buying up Simon & Schuster. Now, they already own HarperCollins. They'd like it to be more hyper.
Yeah, I bet. I'm sure.
Because exactly. Because I think, and Penguin and Random House recently announcing that they're merging. And
Pearson bought Eminent Compass. You're seeing all these different transactions, right?
Yeah, that these book publishing companies really need. The bigger is better in this time of ebooks and getting higher fees out of Amazon and so on and so forth. So something to watch there as he kind of builds up both sides. He's got the entertainment unit, it'll be one, and the publishing unit, where he just obviously bought the Wall Street Journal not too long ago, splitting off and beefing up both ends there.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens if it happens with the Financial Times. That will be an interesting bidding war at some point.
Definitely. Okay, Nadia Damouni, thank you so much. Remember, folks, follow us on Twitter at Reuters Insider and check out our YouTube channel, Reuters.com/ReutersTV. Have a great Thanksgiving. I'm Lisa Bernhard. This is Reuters.